Ka jala Meghalaya kala shim ya karai ka bakongsan ha ka katan rio tarik ya yong. Hadin ba umintri rang ba Conrad ke sangma. Ula pun bena ba ka jingalang juga kinhun mintri kala ya ka jing Mynjur ya ka Meghalaya Official Languages Ordinance arja arun rio. Ka ba penong ya ka Khasi bat ka Garo kum ki ktien Sorkar ka ba pura ni official language. Jong ka jala ringkat bat ka ktien English. Habakran Shakilat Puthikubor Hadin ka Jingalang Cabinet, Ukonrad Sangma, Ula Ong Bakila Shimyaka Rai ka Basak Kinmau Haki History, Bat ka Bakongsan Bahad ka ba Mynjur, Ya ka Meghalaya Official Languages Ordinance, Arja Armrio, ka ba Pendamno Ya ka Meghalaya State Language Act, Arja San, Kabala Banwanra Ajingkala Haka Rukam Trekam ka Sorkar, Bat Ban Plilat Kambun, Kamtam Ya ki Samla Bat Ru Banyaram, Ban Kintiw Ya ki Ktien Jongi, laong usangma hadin ba ula penya ya ka jingalang jong ka kinhun menteri. Katkum kani ka ordinance ka ktien Khasi bat ka Garo kin salong ki ktien Sorkar pura ringkat bat ka English bat kani kan penya re ka jing pendan kam ye kini ki ktien ha ka sensyar khadar bat ka Sorkar. Umintri rang ba ula batay ba kani ka senjam kan pensuk ya ka jing pendan kam ya ka Khasi bat Garo hai ki babon ki kam Sorkar kum hai ki jinga keren bat ki jing tho bat di benta jong Sorkar hai ki por banwan. Ula pentip ru bah ka por ka babyang on sapen kelai ki an ke bayade bat kani kenthop yak Meghalaya State Legislature Continuation of the English Language Act 1980 khnang ba ki MLA ken la ban keren bat ya tai ha ka Khasi bat Garo ha assembly sessions om tang ha ka English. Shu usang ma ula ong ba ka rai kan pli lat ru ikijinga khun examine ba pero per ban long ha ka Khasi bat Garo om tang ha ka English. Henry ula pensyai baka jing pentre kam de ka balong menta ka jela kan haban penkre ya ki jingdon kam kum ka jing penbiang brio ki jing te bat ki kindon tre kam shwaban pentre kam pura ya ka ni ka ordinance halor ka jing dawa ban penrung ya ka Khasi bat Garo hak 8 schedule u mintri rang ba ula ong baka ni ka senjam ka long ban penklan ya ka jing kerpat sa ka Sorkar India. Ula ong bakarai khaddu ka syong ha ka Sorkar pedeng bat parliament, Henry ka jela kan beteng ban but din ya kan ikaman.
Friends, as you are all aware that we had the cabinet meeting today, and there were three formal items that were discussed in the cabinet today, and decisions were made on three important issues. I'm very happy and very pleased to inform our citizens of the state that today the cabinet has made I should say historic and a very important decision which will impact the overall functioning as well as opportunities that will open up especially for the youth of our state and also help in promoting our languages. Today the cabinet has decided that the Meghalaya Official Languages Ordinance 2026 was passed and the Meghalaya State Language Act 2005 was repealed. Under the new Meghalaya Official Languages Ordinance 2026, the main point is that from now on, apart from English, Khasi and Garo language will also become official language of the state. With this very important and landmark decision, this will facilitate the process of allowing Khasi and Garo language to be used in most of the government communications and also in the due course of time. And when I say due course, I mean very, very shortly, necessary amendments will be made to relevant acts, namely the Meghalaya State Legislature Continuance of English Language Act 1980. Once amended, will also enable our legislatures to speak in Khasi and Garo and debate in Khasi and Garo language apart from English, even during the assembly sessions. This decision will also pave the way for different important examinations also to be held apart from English in our own local languages, which is Garo and Khasi. This will, of course, not happen, everything will not happen immediately. The process will take some time. Certain decisions will be much more easier to implement immediately. Certain decisions will require logistical setups to be created, manpower to be employed, and different infrastructures to be created, rules to be created. But as I said, the decision today will allow all of these things to fall into place. This also is being done primarily because the resolution to include the Khasi and Garo language in the 8th schedule was taken by the Assembly. And our government felt very strongly that while we are demanding for 8th schedule, it is important that in our state itself, we must also take necessary steps to make both Khasi and Garo official, so that a stronger message can be sent to Government of India and the Parliament, and further pave the way for us to be able to expect that both Khasi and Garo language will be also included in the 8th schedule. So this is also one important step towards achieving that particular goal. The order will be that it will be in the Khasi Hills region, in the districts in Khasi Hills. It will be English and Khasi, not or, English and Khasi. And in the Garo Hills region, it will be English and Garo. For the state government, we will start ASAP. I mean, of course, there could be some delay because it's a process. But the notifications and the gazetted notifications and the orders that come out from Government of Meghalaya will be in English, Garo and Khasi. Not or, but and. So all three languages will be there. The communication inter-district will happen in English. The official notifications and orders and file notings will be in English. So we will be coming out with detailed rules as to which area, which process, which languages will be used. But our effort will be to ensure that the normal day-to-day activities are not hampered. This will only be in addition. So while English is being used in certain areas, Garo will be added. It's not that English will stop and you will only give in Garo or only in Khasi. Both English and Khasi, English and Garo, English, Garo and Khasi, all three will be used as per the written. But English will always be a common thread that will go through. So therefore there should not be any disturbance or disruption in terms of communication. So that's the basic decision we have taken. Of course, the detailed rules will be coming out soon. So when those rules come out, then there'll be more clarity on the actual implementation. So we will obviously need to have translators in the assembly. Of course, we'll be discussing with Honorable Speaker. The decision will lie with him. So we have to have a discussion with Honorable Speaker at an official level. But I can share with you that I have had a communication with Honorable Speaker. I have spoken to him on multiple occasions about this decision that we are planning to implement. And Honorable Speaker has expressed happiness and, in fact, sharing and communicating with me that he desired that in the new assembly, when we have the first session there should be a system in place where it would be truly historic when we inaugurate it and our representatives are able to speak in their mother tongue. Would be a great message for the people of the state and would be a great beginning and starting of the new assembly. So there will be some manpower requirements though in those areas. And of course in the district level also, and at the same time at the secretariat level, we will require certain manpower. I expect that there will be some minor expenditures, nothing major. But looking at the larger impact and the larger emotional connect and how this is important for our people and especially for future generations, I think the financial impact is not a big consideration. This is something that we must do, and we have taken that decision to go ahead with this. There are always plus and there are always minuses on every decision that one takes. I see that there is more plus to it, especially when we look at all the decisions that the government is taking. You'll have to, I always say this, when you look at any decision, you have to see it in the larger context of the ecosystem and the other decisions we take. Today, government has taken another very landmark decision, not today, but a couple of months, many months back, that in all the schools, both Garo and Khasi will be taught to all the students. And this is being done precisely because we want to promote. So if you just look at this decision as a single decision, one could think in the line that you are thinking, which of course is not the correct thought process. But if you look at the decision that we have taken that both Garo and Khasi should be promoted and all children should learn. And then we now make both official languages. And also we include the aspect of having the proficiency of local language in the DSE and other examinations. If you look at all of these decisions put together, the larger purpose of what we're trying to do is to ensure that we promote our languages, we ensure that it is used more, we ensure that our children and youngsters and youth learn the languages of different tribes and different regions so that all can become competent or at least be able to communicate in basic languages of Garo and Khasi. So one angle would be the way you see it, but as I said, if I see from the larger context, this is maybe one of the most important decisions and a very, very critical decision for the people of our state. That will be dependent on Government of India and on the Prime Minister and Home Minister. It's not something that I'm in any position to be able to give a date because the decision lies with the Government of India and the Parliament, and therefore we'll have to push in the Parliament. We'll have to make sure that we take this issue up, raise our concerns and this issue in the Parliament. All of this will have to be looked into. So we hope that we'll be able to carry forward and take this work, and hopefully one day we'll be able to include both Khasi and Garo language in the 8th schedule.